welcome to this channel. In this channel, we bring you content regarding Eritreans living in Uganda. Most of the time, we bring content in the motive of coordinating these two communities, but also other foreigners. There are so many Somalis living here in Uganda for many years. There are also Congolese, South Sudanese, Ethiopians, and other nationalities, Burundians and Rwandese also. This is due to the fact that Uganda is a very hospitable country, and the people are very much accommodated and hospitable people, and the government has one of the best policies towards refugees and other Africans, and it's also a very pan-African government without going to politics. In Africa, we have 54 countries and 42 currencies, all drawn, the boundaries are drawn by Western colonizers, not by us. Many patriotic leaders and big personalities consider Africa as one country. Of course, it's one country, though with a little bit of difference in language and other aspects. People like Powers do a lot of work to unite Africa in their own capacity. For today, I bring Powers in his capacity as a Youtuber, as well as a Pan-Africanist, particularly in his efforts to unite and support Eritrean communities and Ugandans living in Uganda. He has traveled to Eritrea and has done amazing jobs in Eritrea. Without further ado, let me take you to him. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you.
So, in your conversation with us, you would always mention yourself as Marino. Are you real as Marino?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I am Yas Marino.
You're as Marino.
Yeah.
How did he say that?
Anyway, there's one of my friends when I was in Asmara. So he told me, "You are here now.
Yeah.
You made it to Asmara.
Mm-hmm.
So now you are Yas Marino.
Yeah,
Start calling yourself that." I did that in the intro when I was making the video. He told me, "Do that in the video. From now, you're gonna do that." He's called Emma. So
Emma.
I took it from him, and from then I am Yas Marino. So that's why
How many times did you go to Eritrea?
Twice.
Twice.
Yes.
How many times you stayed?
First time I stayed 3 weeks. The second time I stayed 2.5 weeks.
When was the first time you went to Eritrea?
In January
January of
this year.
Of this year.
Yes.
So in 1 year you went twice. And for many of us, maybe it's been years since we saw a country. So yeah. So how did you? What was your first impression with your expectation?
Okay, my first impression was before the people at the airport. It was the hospitality.
Hospitality.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's good news.
Because when I entered inside, after the immigration, there was one guy. He's working at the airport. He had a phone, but it was hidden in the pocket. So he told me we are not supposed to pull out our phones and call because we are at work. But again, he turned and looked at me, so he knew I wasn't from around. So he just went in the corner and tell me the number. He called someone, but he was very far at that moment because he was supposed to pick me from the airport. He didn't know that I was coming that day. So we called him. He told me, "You can take taxi, you go and stay here and here and here. I'll come back for you tomorrow." That's what happened. So I asked the guy, "How much are you going to charge me?" He said, "No, it's okay. Thank you, foreigner." Okay, hospitality started from the airport.
From the airport.
Until inside
That's
the country.
good to hear.
Yeah.
It's good to hear. So it was your first time you went to Eritrea on January 2024.
Yes.
So what did you expect about Eritrea and what did you get? What was the most, let me say, unexpected encounter you faced in Eritrea vis-a-vis your expectation?
Visa?
Vis your expectation.
Actually, I was watching Eritrea from a distance for a long time. So I was forced to go and see the country I love, the country I talk about, the country I blog about every day. So there's a lot of negativity that's talking about on the internet. So from my head, when I was going there, I was expecting like 80% of it. You understand? I know there is positive, which they don't say, but I expect negative 80%. So from the night, like I said in my main point, first it was hospitality. Because that night, it was really hard for me to get a hotel. But the taxi driver again had to drive me all the way until he get me a room. So the next day, I woke up in the morning and I went out. Like I was doing things that they told me that they are very hard to do in Eritrea.
For example?
Filming.
Filming.
So somebody told me when you are going to the airport, you're going to lose that camera.
Oh, like the security would snatch it
Yes,
from you.
and you get it back when you are coming back.
Oh, so you can't have any recording.
Yeah, you can't
while you're
record,
inside
your camera is
That was
too
the
big.
expectation. That was what was told to you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I thought I cannot film anything. But I had planned, I was like, if I can't film with my camera, I can use a phone or anything. When I went to the Eritrean airport, it's the same thing. I pulled out a big camera. So let them know that I have it without checking.
Without it.
Yeah.
So that in case it's not allowed, they can take it also from you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. So nothing happened. The girl took me inside, from Uganda. They gave me the stamp for 1 month. So I pulled out, still filming. Then I went out, then it was night, so I had to stop filming. So I was like, okay, I passed the airport. That's one. Then the next day, in the morning, that's what I did. Immediately in the morning, I put on my camera, I went for breakfast, I filmed everything. No one was saying anything. I was like, okay, this was wrong. I put that one down. So the next thing I know, I heard that when you enter inside, there's a lot of security.
That's what people told you?
Told me. And he told me, like, everybody you see, whether it's a female or a man, is a policeman or is a soldier. Which is true, but not the way they say it. Because in Eritrea, when I was filming on the second day, the guy who talked to me was from Sudan. Because, you know, when you're filming, your camera is like this. So he thought I'm filming him. So he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm filming. Me or you? I said, me. Okay. I'm like, I'm not in the flame. Yeah, you're not okay. Then immediately, actually, he came close to the camera. And I'm thinking, now you're in the flame. Because before you were not in the flame, now you're in the flame. He's like, okay, if I wasn't in the flame, then we started to talk from there. I kept on doing what I wanted to do in Eritrea every day. Like, no one was stopping me. I had to learn that when you want to go away from Eritrea, you have to go for a permit.
From Asmara?
From Asmara. They think 40 kilometers, something like that.
You need to have a permit? You
need to have a permit.
Okay.
So I knew that. So I didn't know how many kilometers where Asmara is ending, but I was like, since I'm in Asmara, we first run around. So I went around every place. The next day, that's when I met all the actors that I worked with on that time. But before that, like, everything was different. Everything was the opposite of what I had. You understand? Because I wanted into restaurants. I could take the meal I want because I was used to eat their Eritrean food. It was easy for me. I would ask. I actually got lost once.
Oh,
yeah.
In Asmara?
Yeah.
Oh.
I forgot the block of my hotel. So I kept walking in circles. So one guy saw me. He was from Eritrea. I said, what's wrong with you? So I told him, no, I'm looking for internet cafe. So he told me it's there. So I was lying to him. I didn't want to tell him that I'm lost. So I went to cafe. I didn't see it. I went out. Then I moved. He nods. He told me, I think you're lost. Where are you from? Sudan? Because there are many Sudans there. You know, I'm from Uganda. The truth, I'm lost. So he showed me the area where I was supposed to stay.
Which neighborhood were you staying?
I was staying in, what the name of it was Penny. It's a Portico. You know Portico cafeteria? Yeah. Then on the top, opposite Telecom.
Minister of Education, opposite Minister of Education.
In the main street.
In the main street.
Seeing
downtown.
Everything, like everything in the morning, in the evening,
Yeah. Previously, when we were discussing, you told me you prefer visiting small countries. How many countries have you visited in Africa so far?
Actually, I've visited many, but on YouTube status, this is the first country I've filmed.
Eritrea.
Yeah, I've been to Rwanda. No, I filmed Angola before. I have a video for Angola on my other channel. I was in Morocco.
Morocco.
Yeah, actually that's a long time before I was in school. So I'm planning to visit most of them. I was in Burundi too.
Burundi.
This is Kenya, we go here all the time. Tanzania, we go there all the time. I cannot mention that.
Yeah.
But away from the next countries, I think it's Eritrea, Angola, and Morocco.
Morocco.
Yeah.
But which places in Eritrea visited?
I visited Massawa.
Yes.
No, the first time I went, I visited Dekamhari.
Dekamhari.
Yeah, I visited Mbadorho.
Mbadorho.
What else? I went to Durfo.
Durfo too.
My favorite.
Yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then, I think, yeah, there are some I visited, but I can't remember the names because they are so hard to remember. Yeah.
Okay.
Then the second trip, I went to Massawa. That was like, even my first plan, Massawa was my target.
Because you had a lot of knowledge about Massawa.
Yeah, I wanted to go to the Red Sea really very bad, so I didn't go for the first time.
Okay.
So I was like, no, I have to go back.
Okay.
So
which prominent places did you visit in Asmara?
I think I moved everywhere in Asmara. Like,
Asmara.
I can't tell the villages, but I moved from corner to corner, from corner to
now,
corner.
for our visitors, I mean, for our viewers to know that you really visited Asmara, just mention me the hotels or the neighborhoods or the streets.
Second time I stayed in Aklilu.
Aklilu.
Like for 2.5 weeks,
Okay.
I was staying in Aklilu. Then, which many places? I think they should watch my videos because there are so many names. I was walking and reading a lot. Then went to this side of the graveyard.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, I also visited the smaller matters graveyard too.
Okay.
I went to LTV, that's in the city.
Oh, LTV.
Yeah, that's in the city.
Really?
Yeah, so like I visited so many villages.
There. You've also mentioned that you were interviewed by ERITV as well as the Eritrean radio
station. Yeah.
Radio station.
Yeah.
So was it on your first journey or on your second trip?
On my second trip.
On your second trip.
Yes.
Okay. The interview covered which areas, like your impressions about Eritrea?
Actually, I think the interview mostly covered me because they wanted to know more, like how am I interested in Eritrea?
Yeah.
How am I connected to Eritrean people? How did I get the love, the courage, to go all the way from here to there to visit them? So it was all about Uganda and Eritrea relations, especially through my experience. Yeah.
You know, there are thousands of Eritreans living in Uganda now.
Yes.
Just for this recent few years, maybe in these 10 years, the number of Eritreans living in Uganda has increased overwhelmingly. Now, many Eritreans come to Uganda crossing many countries, crossing Ethiopia, crossing Sudan, crossing Kenya, South Sudan. Uganda is not immediate neighbor to Eritrea.
Yes.
And when you ask, including me, why Eritreans prefer Uganda crossing their immediate neighbors, they would say Ugandans are very hospitable people. Very hospitable people.
Yeah.
And the policy of the government towards refugees is one of the best in the world. And this is very true, 100% true. I witnessed that.
Yes.
But some Ugandans also would sort of complain, have some few complaints regarding how few people conduct themselves, few refugees conduct themselves in Kampala.
Yeah.
Which is very natural, to be honest. Even in Europe, in the Middle East, there's always that kind of comments. So what are the main areas which Ugandans complain about Eritreans and other refugees?
Here in Uganda?
Here in Uganda.
That's a very good and sensitive question, actually. Because I made so many interviews about that. And what I heard, mostly Eritreans, Somalians, Ethiopians, that's the main thing they complain about, right? They are covering some areas. Like they cannot go from here to Mkono to Mbali, so they need to be close to each other. So at first, they were happy yeah, we got the foreigners, we're going to get some money, business are going to boom. And it worked, I think, for sometimes. But let alone, they didn't know that those people are very smart and they know their problems. You know, when you know your problems, it's easy for you to grow up. But if you think you don't know, you can stay behind. So they started to engage into business. So Ugandans, where they're complaining mostly is like people are doing business that they are supposed to do. You understand? One of my interview, guy mentioned like they have small shops, they have saloons, which are not supposed to be done by foreigners, of which these people are not the investors, the real investors. These are people who try to save their little money and try to start up a life and survive in a country. That is everywhere in any country that has refugees. And the rest, the another thing they complain about is the relationship, like between marrying each other, stuff like that, which I don't think is a big deal because everyone has his own culture. You have to know somebody, you have to know how they behave, how they take themselves. Like you cannot jump on somebody like that. But on my side, on my point of view, is the most great thing I've ever seen into my life because people, I think how long you've been here for 10 years or more. Yeah. No one was recognizing refugees. They just started right now because they have seen the challenge. They have challenged them in all ways, in business, managing business, marketing their businesses, working together, helping each other. You understand? Most Ugandans don't have that. Instead of bringing you close, he want to be over you or he pull you away. But instead of working with you still, he'll work with you and steal what you have and you run away. So I have seen that and I have heard that. Yeah. And my comment to that is I think Ugandans should start look forward than thinking of what's happening right now. Because we are so many millions, 46 millions. Why do you want to marry someone who's just coming and have 200,000 ladies waiting for you right there? That's not the problem. And another thing is working. So when most Ugandans, I'm talking about the people who I've seen close to me, when they see a challenge, they run away from it. So if somebody is challenging you through a business you've been doing, I think you have to look into your structure and what you have to do better than him. If you cannot do that, that means he's winning over you.
True. True. Yeah, going back to Eritrea now, how many Tigrinya words do you know? Like to mention some few Tigrinya words.
Honestly, I know many, of which I cannot use in a sentence. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Just words is fine.
Yeah, words, I know. Yeah, I can greet.
Salam.
Yeah. Salamdu.
Salam.
Tahando. Tubu. Yeah, like that.
How difficult was it for you to communicate in English?
It's really, that's one of the biggest challenges actually I faced there. Because, you know, two people, he can talk to me, we can understand, but I can't reply, he can't reply to me.
He can understand, but can't.
Yeah, especially the family I was staying with. For the second time, actually, I told you, on my trip, I didn't go for the hotel. So I had a friend of mine who connected me and gave me a full room to stay.
Really?
Yeah, for 2 weeks. Yeah, but unfortunately, there were old people and young people who doesn't even speak English. And when I go outside, it's easy. There's a lot of people who speak English on the streets. There are people who came from outside for the holidays. Like I met a lot of people this time. But at first, in the first trip, it was really difficult. But the only thing I knew was to greet. Hello, salam. They will salam. Then next thing, I want food. Then they'll be like, did he say? So I say, fata.
Fata. So
then they know I want food. Yeah, then they will give me, how many blades? Then someone will be from there sitting, like there's a lot of Sudans. And Sudan, some of them speak English. And be like, you're from Uganda? Yeah. Okay, we'll sit together. Then the time goes on.
So foreigners in foreign land.
We eat, we share, then we go.
Yeah.
And the first person to talk to me in Eritrea after, like the next morning, was from Sudan. So that time there's a lot of Sudanese, a lot, and they were everywhere. So he called me. I think he thought I was from Sudan. He's like, there's no one Ugandan here. You're the first time, and I'm sure I was the only Ugandan there.
Yeah.
Twice. Tourists. I don't know. Maybe there are those who are working there, but tourists they don't come there.
How are Kampala and Asmara different?
There's a big difference. Very big.
Tell me.
Start from the structures. See, in Kampala, everyone is building a different type of building. Depends on the money they have. They bring another plan. But most of the buildings in Asmara, I think the same structure, Italian architecture. Then another thing is Asmara has a lot of streets. Lots of streets. Yeah. You can go here, you can go there, you can go here and come from this side.
You must have faced jams, right?
In Asmara? No jam. For cars? No, for bicycles, yeah. For cars, no. No traffic. In Kampala, there's a lot of traffic. In Asmara, it doesn't rain. I've never seen it. But I talked to my friend yesterday, he said 2 days it's raining. The cleanness is different. Asmara is very clean. I'm telling you that, guys. It's one of the most cleanest states. After Rwanda, I've been to Rwanda, Rwanda is way too clean. Then the lords in the town, all they are nice. Like they are old but still on the good shape. There's not a lot of house, but still a little bit small. Then I think people in Asmara, they are so reserved.
So reserved?
Yeah.
They don't want to communicate?
No, they are not jumpy like Ugandan people. You jump on you, hello, how are you? Like, no. It's very slow, like you can't jump on somebody. Like, you see the difference here. In Kampala, even if you're like a border guy will touch you, you are going. You know, you are not going, but he's like, you are going. In Asmara, it's not like that.
It's a business.
If you want a taxi, you have to go to the taxi there and you stop the taxi. If you want to cross the way, like the population is not too much like crowded in Uganda. So the only jam you have is bicycles.
Bicycles. There are a lot of bicycles still.
A lot of bicycles.
You've also mentioned to me that you've met with Binyam Gurma and you even have interviewed him. So tell me, how did you meet him? How many hours you spent together? How did you find him as a person?
Oh, I met Bini, thanks Lydia. I know she's not good to watch, but I know there are a lot of fans.
Watch this one.
I don't know. Maybe there are a lot of fans who will tell her or cut this clip. But thanks to Lydia, she has done like too much for me. Especially the second time, because whenever I wanted to go somewhere, she's there. Like she never said no. When she's busy, she will tell me, give me 2 hours, this and this and this. So the same day we went to LTV, the same day I met Binyam.
In LTV?
No. On our way back.
Oh.
Yeah, because I told her we're not taking taxi, we are going to walk. So she's like, it's very too far. I told her, in Uganda we walk, this is too close.
Yeah.
So we are in the Ministry of Information. I made her walk, like we came walking on our way in front of the President's office. You know where it is? So when you're taking like this route, there's a lot of, I think Binyam has a bike shop there, because that shop looks so good.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of new bikes, like a lot of things, equipment. So we were there inside talking, me and Lydia. Then on our way out, boom, this Binyam is parking right there. Oh my God, you didn't know how I looked. I was so happy. Like, I think he even remember that time, because he told me, no, wait, there's traffic, they're going to catch me. So he was parking in the wrong way. So that picture I took, I told him, no, you're going to run. Let me first take a picture, then you park somewhere. He's like, okay. Then Lydia took the picture, then he parked somewhere there. Then we had a conversation.
You also took it to Asmara Palace Hotel? You told me you had
we went there, Asmara Palace, and we had lunch. Like, it was amazing. So most of the things on Asmara actually, they don't like film, I don't know. But there are some moments I wanted. But with me and him on the other side, we had a different story. But it was better at Asmara when you're having lunch, when you're talking. It was amazing.
You must have already got used to Eritrean food when you were here, or you got something new there?
From me.
Nothing.
To Eritrea, I'd eaten like 100 times.
Yeah?
Here in Uganda.
Yeah. So in your YouTube channel, guys, Pawers has a YouTube channel with thousands of followers, I think around 40,000 now. There has also another channel with around more than 400,000 subscribers. So you will follow his channel. He speaks many things about Eritrea, and he's like an ambassador for Eritreans here. He supports Eritrean businesses in Uganda tremendously. He speaks about new business of Eritreans and also other African countries too. But
Yes.
his main focus is in Eritrea, and that's why he's in this channel, because of his really generous contributions and generous support to the Eritrean business community as well as to Eritrean individuals in Kampala. I really salute you for that.
Thank you so
But
much.
thank you very much for supporting our people here
Yeah.
and for doing something that's unimaginable to the community here. Yeah, it worked me a lot.
Thank you.
So now taking back to Eritreans in Kampala, how many videos of Eritreans or about Eritreans have you made so far living in Kampala?
Yeah, many.
Many. We can't even count them.
There is many.
The focus is mainly on what?
On culture, food, business, life. Yeah.
Okay. If you were to advise Eritreans in Kampala, in Uganda, what would that be? Maybe 1 or 2, 3 advices.
A new one or that has been there?
That's been there. Anyone who lives in Kampala, or even newcomers, you can have 2 different kinds of.
No, what I'm thinking about Kampala, for me, I think Kampala, Uganda is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. First of all, it's cheap. I don't know, but most foreigners, they say it's cheap, more related to other African countries. It is fertile. It's easy to start business. Because most of Eritreans who has business here, they don't have passports. Last time I spoke to Somalians who are driving this tuk-tuk. I asked them, you have a national ID? No, we don't have. You have passports? No, we don't have. How do you start up businesses? So they say they have refugee cards where they can be able to start business. It's not easy in any other country, especially when you're a refugee.
Okay.
So I advise Eritreans who come here, please come into Eritrean community. If you don't know where to start from, there is a Eritrean community. There is Mr. Siku. So they are going to guide you. But when you spend here like for 2 months, believe me, the next 2 months you're going to get something to start on. I have a friend, I saw him starting because he called me when he had only one building. He's a farmer and he's making muguga. I think we have bought one of them from him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And today, see where he is. You know, and he's a very smart guy. I've seen, I worked with most of them. I worked with East African Hospital. I've seen Bativa in Makelele. I've seen Yoni Hospital. I went Zula Medical Hospital. So everyone, when you go to their staff, they have all nationalities. Ugandans, Kenyans, Somalians, Eritreans. So I asked them all that, like, you have a lot of people who don't have jobs. Why are you hiring different nationalities? Is it because of the language? He's like, no. We are here, we are all human. Everyone is a professional, he deserves to get a job which he studied for. So that makes me so happy. Like, they are not separating people, even if they have jobs. There are other people who come in and work closely with them. So my advice is, guys, please stay focused, work with us. If you want anything from me or anybody I've ever worked with, you can get it. Here Uganda is like juice.
So guys, subscribe to his channel, subscribe to Pawers' channel, and you would be amazed on the content he brings about Eritreans. If I ask you to describe Eritrea, because you've traveled now twice, in 3 words, or in 3 sentences, or anything anyway, how would you do that?
On my point of view, how can I tell you? It's one of the best runaway countries I've ever seen. For me, it's paradise. Because I want to go politically, I want to go socially, but when you go there, it's one of the chill countries that you have to chill. Because you have all seasons. The summer, you can go in the summer. You can go in the winter. But when you go there, like the landscape, everything out there is really beautiful. You can relax, run away from this crazy world and stay there for 2 weeks, then come back and start again and refresh. Because so many people complain about the internet. You know, it's not Eritrea that doesn't have internet. There are so many countries that doesn't have internet, but there are people there. So when you have to run away, internet is driving us crazy. You can go there and chill, and come back later.
You said something about price change as per people's color. In your conversation with my team, how did you see that in Uganda and in Eritrea?
The price change in Uganda, we agree on everything. We negotiate, like bargain all the time. But in Asmara, it's not like that. The taxi is 10 nakfa, it's 10. In Uganda, if it's 10 and they look at you, look like you, it will become 20. So that's how it works here. But the only thing I've seen, like in that price changes in Asmara, the shops closes early. Yeah, for those who close late, they will double the price of something you want to buy.
How did you first feel when you to be interviewed by a national TV? Maybe that's.
And
I guess your
it
first
was
experience.
my first time on TV. Actually, it was my first interview. No, the third one. The others were on YouTube, but the serious one, because on YouTube we do whatever I want. So when I went in, I wasn't expecting it. I was like, I'm gonna take a tour of the station because I've been making so many videos from their channel. So, and I emailed them. They were like, okay, you can spread love, no hate. So I'm like, I have to go into the studios. When we were walking, was like, why don't you give me an interview? I'm like, what? So for interview, you have to be ready first. I'm like, no, we're not going to ask you a lot of things. You can join us. So they put something there. But when I entered in the first studio, the guys who saw me, he knows me on the first desk because they have internet in. He said, I've been watching you all the time. How come you are here? I'm like, yeah, I'm here now. So he gave me a hug. Even the clip he saw me, he gave me his desk. He was like, can you edit for me this one? We had a lot of fun there. But being on a national TV is crazy because you don't know how many people watching at that time. So it was good. At the same time, I was very nervous. And I don't know the point of because I never watched the interview. I've never watched it.
Another question that I have is, on your second trip, you went to film a movie. Am I right?
Yeah.
Or it was part of your
I
movie?
filmed it in the first one.
In the first,
Yeah. I didn't go to film the movie. Like when I met the Emma, Lydia, Nado, Smile, all the team. So Emma was like, jump into a bus, you're going to see what we are going to do. So that's when we went to Embado. So in the process, Emma was like, we can put you in the movie. I'm like, I know how to act, but it's been a long time because I used to act some time back. So immediately, that's why I said those guys are very smart. So he wrote the script like of 4 pages in like 20 minutes. So we had to go back down and print it. Then I had to spend like 30 minutes going through it. Yeah, so it was easy at the same time hard because I was acting in my language and English and they were acting, but the concept was good. I don't know, I haven't also seen that movie because they take some time to pull it out, but I went into it on the same day and I acted. Then we filmed the second day and the third day, then we finished. Yeah. But it was amazing because
it was about what?
It was a Valentine's special, I think.
Valentine's special.
Yeah.
Okay. So your part was an English part.
Yeah.
Mixed with the Tigrinya part.
Yes.
That has to do something that will have a lot of value in terms of.
And I know when it comes out because he brought up that idea. It actually works because when you come in the middle there and the way I came into the movie, it was perfect. It was really like it was a good timing. So the combination of Ugandan and Eritrean in the same content, that's amazing.
Do you have any plan soon to go back to Eritrea?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah.
Anytime soon, anyway.
I think For this year, it's closed, but next year, early,
Early
I
next
have
year.
to go back. Because I'm actually also working on my own series. If you don't know, I'm working on their series. I want to mix Lydia and Nados on the other side. So after we film here, we will go and do other part the other side. That's why we'll go back.
I wish I could join.